We're out here in Mexico on an excursion to hike up Monkey Mountain in these incredible golf carts that were not made for this kind of excursion. I'll say that. And can I just say that this is the best Disney ride I've ever been. Like being out here, I realized that Disney has spent a lot of money to try to make rides that are really fun for people. And it's like, oh, actually, this is the experience that they're copying. Like a golf cart through a stream in the jungle right outside of a rad town in Mexico. Another thing that's been happening on this trip is just a lot of friends from different times in our lives. We're coming together for my wife's 40th birthday. Have you turned 40? Do you remember turning 40? What do you think about if you're not 40 yet, what do you think about your 40th birthday? You know? You land at 40 and you just realize like this is the parents like having the birthday. It's like with coffins everywhere because it's like, you're an old man now, bud. I don't feel like that in life. And my parents, after that moment, they didn't give up. Like they're still living a lot of fucking life, right? So, but this is a big moment, turning 40. And we're surrounded with some of our closest friends from different eras in our life. It's like the different people we were around when we were different people. Okay, cool, we're walking from here. So we came into Mexico on the Pacific side to stay at these rad houses right next to each other and celebrate my wife. So in this video, I want to give you a couple tips about Mexico and some of the gear we used and what we packed. First pro tip, pesos. My wife and I have been exploring cryptocurrencies. Maybe you have as well. We've been loving learning about it. We've got lots of friends around Austin and other places in the world that know more about it than we have over the past few years. And it's had me thinking about currency a lot and fiat currency and digital currency. Anyways, when you go to Mexico into a small surf town, that town runs out of pesos. And the bank's job is literally to sell cash, right? You go to ATMs and they run out of cash too. The last place that has cash ends up being the bank. So here's a pro tip. Find out where the bank is, go in there, get your pesos. Right now, a lot of places that you want to be supporting and buying stuff from and going on excursions with are cash only. The bank is still the place to get that cash. Pro tip number 2, pay attention to the people who are working for you while you're there. What you want when you go down there is you want to be welcomed back. Please, 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 gringos. We have a responsibility to help steward this area and these people, especially if we're coming down into their land to enjoy the bounty of these jungles and these mountains and this landscape and the oceans and all this stuff. Obviously, we're coming down there, we're infusing that area with our money, cash from the bank likely, you know, sometimes being able to use chip readers and cards at your restaurants and stuff. Tip graciously. Structure your behavior in a way so that you are welcomed back, right? In the 2 houses that we stayed out, there was basically a handler at each of the houses, and they directed the staff of morning breakfast making people, some cleaners, landscaping guys. And what we did throughout the week is we collected money to give as a massive tip to each of those people. And it felt like tithing, you know, the way that tithing's supposed to feel like. The tithe of taking care of the people who were taking care of us while we were down there. That was sacred, and that felt really good to do. When you go down there, structure your behavior in such a way as to be welcomed back again, as to be wanted back, and we succeeded in that. One of the handlers there was like, you guys, we want you to come back. We want you to come back. And when you do, like, special rate for you, because now we know what you're like. Other than that, know that there are some places in Mexico that are not safe to go and others that are totally safe to go. You have to understand that the cartels, for example, we hear a lot of stories about the violence of the cartels, and I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert, but the cartels are very incentivized for us gringos and travelers to be safe in certain areas because they get a lot of money from activities in those areas. And the balance is always finding places that are fun as a tourist, but not safe and fun as a tourist without being like overrun and just like a total fucking Disneyland. And the pina coladas are bottomless and the culture is cultureless. That's my take. But we've lived in Mexico several times. We love Mexico. You know, wash your fruit with microdine and tip well and, you know, befriend the locals. Okay, to the gear we use. In a follow-up video, I'm gonna show you this little secret number. I'm doing a bigger video on that one. So subscribe if you wanna see that. It's a larger daily carry bag. It might be good to have a larger daily carry bag. For me, I'm the daddy. I'm carrying everybody's water bottles up the hills, out into excursions at the beach, stuff like that. And I've got a recommendation for you, and it's that one, and it's coming in probably the next video. Now, my wife traveled with the packed travel bag. She loves this thing. This is like, you know, it opens in 2 compartments. She fills it all out. Laptop compartment right here in the middle, protected between all your stuff. Great and comfortable harness. Some secret pockets for passports. Lots of organizations. As you go, we're sold out of this one. This is the bag I helped design. It's one of my favorite travel bags of all time, made from recycled materials. I'll link to it below. I believe you can be involved in the pre-order. Logistics, you guys. The world's going nuts. But this is an epic carry-on travel backpack. Then we traveled with our big roller bag. Now this is from Eagle Creek. It's their cargo hauler, all right? Massive, massive. Why was I bringing this? I was bringing all sorts of, let me see if I can just stand this up. I was bringing all sorts of Feel Free. I'll link to this below. Feel Free. The choice of a new generation. This is my favorite. I used to love day drinking. It was a great sort of thing. And then you like day 2, you're like, actually, this is not a sustainable rate of behavior, right? Feel Free changed all that for me. Kava and Kratom, it's delicious and lovely. Careful, you know, careful, it's Kratom. I brought a couple cases of that. I had musical instruments. I had bodyworking tools like foam rollers and the So Right. I had all sorts of stuff that we were like oracle cards and, you know, things that, anyways, I'm gonna link in the description below to a list of everything that we brought in here. I just knew I was gonna need this. Just knew. And this is the first time checking in a while. Also, this phone wallet case. Typically, I use a Bellroy case. I took this one so that I could take my wallet off, and it came in handy. You can take like a card and then put in some pesos or something like that. I ended up just taking my cards around. This extra case is the one that I found that has the strongest magnets of all. There's some more magnet phone stuff coming on the channel soon. Link to this one below. And then as always, I was so stoked on my Sonos Move. We brought it with the little charger base and it fills up the space with great sound. I'm serious, it's heavy. I had to bring this in my carry-on because I figured my checked-in bag would be way too heavy with this in it. So I just slept this thing around with a guitar. As my carry-on, and you know, that just makes things a hassle, but we survived. This was heavy to carry, but it was so worth it to fill up the space. We actually, on one of the houses, we couldn't connect it to the Wi-Fi. On the other one, we could. We left it in Bluetooth mode the entire time, basically, which means when you get this connected to the Wi-Fi, you have to like reset it, connect it to the Wi-Fi, open it up on your device, and then you can like put a Spotify playlist into the Sonos, like, hey, this is what we're playing now, and you can walk away. That's what's so crucial. I missed that because we were in Bluetooth mode the whole time. By the way, my Spotify playlists worked really good in the background music, okay? Other than that, you know, swim gear and a passport. If you wanna get real prepared, sun hat and sunscreen, maybe a travel towel. Nobody brought a travel towel because we didn't need to, because the place we were staying had towels. Depending on where you're staying, maybe a travel towel, right? I also used my sandals, Shama sandals, which are a barefoot sandal. The kind of sandal that you're like, you can hike in is kind of nice because there are oftentimes hikes around the Pacific and areas in Mexico, and that's nice. Being able to hike in Mexico with an open-toed shoe is like the move. Happy birthday to my wife, and hope that you can get out there and start making memories, you know, in places in the world. As Ewan McGregor says in this recent Expedia commercial, are we gonna regret the things that we didn't buy or the places we didn't go? But Ewan McGregor also, in his fabulous Long Way Up Netflix show, did not go to some places in Mexico because they were like, it's too dangerous. Watch that show for more info on that. That's why, you know, stick to the safe spots, and hopefully you'll be fine. I mean, it's kind of nice. You gotta get a little peril in your life. But man, the people of Mexico there's so much wilderness in Mexico still, like in the people, you know, and in the land. Feels great. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.